revisiting some of our favorite Tam Fam members who took us on great adventures. Over the past 6 seasons, we followed members of the show who've had life-changing adventures. Lydia Hamilton quit her job to solo travel around the world. And then there was Raymond Braun, who completed 7 triathlons on 7 continents. This next story, also unforgettable. We first met Matt Robertson and Khani Lay back in April 2023 for our show, Expect the Unexpected. When you hear their story, you'll understand why they were the perfect fit. 5 years ago, when the pair first started dating, Matt thought up a very unconventional third date idea, a romantic getaway to Costa Rica. Feeling adventurous, Khani said, sure. Well, then the worst that you could imagine happened. They ended up trapped together in Costa Rica because of COVID. They called it the longest third date. It turned into a documentary. Take a look.
And then it went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Third date, Costa Rica. Look at this. You only live once. What's the worst that could happen? It's at the early stages of the coronavirus.
At the hotel, they were like, we're shutting down, you have to leave.
Why the flight's canceled. Guess we're stuck here.
Whose idea was it to go to Costa Rica? I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica, so I get, but whose idea was it?
I think it started as a joke, right?
Yeah. Like I was like, oh, like tickets to Hawaii are really cheap right now. And then he threw out Costa Rica, and we kind of just kept going back and forth, like one-upping each other. I'm like, yeah, like we'll see you at the airport. All right, packing my bags now.
I couldn't tell, and then so I had to figure it out. I was like, well, send me your passport. This will determine if she's for real or not.
Okay.
And she sent it.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, this is happening. But even going to the airport, I was expecting that she's not going to be there, right? It's still kind of crazy.
Right.
Third date.
So you get, this is amazing. You brought first class seats. The flight was empty, right?
Yep.
Okay,
knows how to treat
Tam
women.
Fam is like first class seats.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know where this is going. I don't know if you want to applaud these seats.
I got a good deal.
You got to use some miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got first class seats. You get on the plane, it's empty. And you thought that was an omen of some sort.
It was a little eerie, and it was like, okay, is this a mistake? But even the pilot was kind of cracking jokes, though. He was like, we got plenty of toilet paper. You know, it was still early on. And
Right.
I called the embassy, actually, and the hotel, because it was starting to get weird, but it wasn't like what
So
would
you
it
had
become.
started to hear that there was some concern about this flu-like virus, but this was in the early stages of it.
Yeah, we never could have imagined what
Never
it would
could have
become,
imagined.
of course. It's only a few days.
Right,
It's
just
a
a
long
few
week.
days. So March 17th is when you got there. The day before you were supposed to return home, your flight was canceled. So now things get real. So from March until June, you are there together.
Yep.
How do you describe the emotional roller coaster? Because again, you're really strangers.
It definitely was a roller coaster. It kept going up and down, but I don't know, we just tried to, we couldn't change anything, so it was like, all right, we just got to figure out and go with the flow and see
Were
what
you still
happens.
recording everything?
I was still recording, and eventually
Was
she
that getting on your nerves by then?
After a while, like I didn't even
You didn't
notice
care.
it anymore. Like, the phone was like permanently affixed to his hand, like.
She started grabbing the phone from me, because at that point, you know, what else could we do? Drink and make, you know, movies and vlogs and just go out and try to...
In separate rooms? Were you staying in separate rooms?
At that point, no.
Oh.
Actually, at no point were we in separate rooms. But we got closer as time went on,
I would say.
Yeah.
Because I always see in the horror movies where there's something scary happening and then the people stop to make out and I'm like, you're in crisis. Who's thinking about dating?
Right.
You're in crisis,
Yeah.
but there was still something there.
Yeah, we just try to make the most out of, you know, the situation we were in and just trying to have a positive outlook and keeping our heads up, but...
Okay. So after you got back from Costa Rica, the first night back, right? So you've been together for 3 months. The very first night back, did you go to your individual homes?
We did not. So we took a government-supported flight. We ended up in Houston, Texas. So we still aren't home, and it kind of was another turn to a next adventure. We had to road trip.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, we road trip to Maine, where she ended up meeting my parents, and then road trip to Seattle to meet her.
You can't get rid of this guy, right? So
We kept it going.
You kept it going, and so where do things stand?
Get over here.
And you're not just dating.
We live together and we have a family now.
And you've been together 3 years. You have a family now.
We're
It's all about the
dog
family.
parents.
Your dog,
Yeah.
same thing, same thing. Look at this. So the show is about unexpected things. Do you think if you'd had the regular third date that you'd be here together as the couple?
Maybe,
Probably
but
not.
probably not.
Yeah.
Because we would have been like doing Zoom or FaceTime dates in that time, you know? Like we probably would have gone our separate, like back to our families, and would have been hard to get that chemistry the same way. Maybe, but like, I don't know. I think everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, everything happens for a reason. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So, it's been almost 2 years since that date, and Matt and Connie, I am happy to report to the Tam fam, they have settled in with their dog Banks in New Jersey. They're still sharing the passion of travel, and they're doing impromptu trips to Europe. They are still together. Coming up, how the Hollywood rom-com The Holiday, two friends in two different countries swap lives, inspire this travel adventure. We'll be right back.
Are y'all ready for the show? Join the Tamron Hall Show audience. Go to TamronHallShow.com. Welcome to the Tamron Hall Show.